Nice. Might be off, dude. I'm loading, I'm loading. I got posted an announcement. Hello everyone on the stream. We're live once again. Unfortunately, we will delay the match with Amtika depending on what happens. It might be another win by default. But on the other hand, good news, we will have another match. It will be Orcturus versus Rustyy. Both players are pretty interesting. Orcturus had a good game versus Himofi. We provided good scores, but Himofi played very strongly. And it was a 5-0 sweep, but Orcturus' score isn't that bad. Bit of errors, but in terms of his next opponent being Rustyy, we might see a close match actually. Rustyy here being more used to the tournament mindset. So he might have that for his advantage. Well, but on the other hand, has the map pool to his advantage instead. So depending on how well both players play here, it might be a sweep. Maybe, or a very close match. But I do have news that both of the players are actually in the lobby and actually be undergoing. We're just waiting up for any of the streams here. I'm got my water for the moment. Well, for those who, for the people who are gonna watch the VOD here for now, Rustyy has some, is relatively famous in terms of in the catch and beat community. I believe he's on one of the top players for catch and beat, while Orcturus is more or less sold himself to be pretty strong in terms of the tournament here. Beginner's tournament. So both players had some strengths and weaknesses as well. And the match is in here. So I'm just waiting up for the lobby to come up and some of the replays as the stream is still just showing this. And here we go. Now pop this out to my my other screen. And the chat does come up. Ooh. So we will see actual normals for both players currently. And we will get singularity. This is I like this warm up. This was a really good HR map. It's pretty snappy, even for 4-2. It feels super. The last difficulty of this song is so hard though. first warm-ups will start. And for anyone in the stream, hello, hello. Oh, Rustyy practicing that hidden mod. So this is an interesting way of using the warm-up as well. Rustyy is pretty used to this, so we might actually see some counter picks as well. So that's what Rustyy did last time versus this other opponent, which was, I believe, York. Hi, okay. Oh, that was Orcturus, never mind. But the fight was versus Cloudex, and Cloudex did prove to be more consistent overall. And Rustyy decided to go for a NM1 ban, more of an offensive ban, than banning one of the maps that he's not good at. So we might actually see this versus Orcturus as well. If Rustyy is going in for a serious win, we might see some offensive bans in terms of Rustyy's side. Rustyy gets completely punished by ghost stabbing. Yeah, I like this warm-up. It's a good way of testing out if you know how to hit the snap in HD. I did training for HR1, so we might actually knock the HR1 depending on how well Rustyy plays the snap. Yeah, it's a joke. Wait, which one do you prefer? I honestly prefer this one more, the Ritoli one. Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah. Alright, we're getting more and more people on the stream. Welcome, welcome. We're just starting the warm-ups for those who just tuned in. And this is just the first warm-ups. And I'm not sure if Orcturus' warm-up will be skipped. And Rustyy rolls 1,000 apparently. But oh my god, Rustyy still wins with only 5 points. Well, that was a closer match than was expected. But following the rules, Orcturus will get first ban, and while Rustyy gets the first pick, we will see. And Orcturus bans HD2. That is interesting, because I remember Orcturus was more comfortable with HD. Yeah, he did get around 900,000 score in HD. And has actually, never mind. I'm checking out the scores at around 24 now. This has some pretty strong plays in BT and NM. His HD is slightly better than HR. But that's about it, bro. And Rusty goes for an NM3 ban, so he opts out for the no slow and instantly goes for the speed pick. This might be a tough match, as Orcturus has some strength in the no mod category. Orcturus plays very consistent in the no mods, so depending on what's gonna happen here, we might see a early breakpoint. Actually, the easier HD gets banned. Alright, so the matches will start. And we'll see. Rustyy might have to perform pretty well here to beat Orcturus. So things to see here is if they're gonna single tap or alternate the patterns. And based on the history, there's only one person that won the pick when they full alternated it. And that's Christian. And Orcturus does alternate the fast patterns. Alright, both players did pass through the bridge without getting 100, but both get 100 at the same time. There's a person there. If we get into the KI where both players are technically equal, in a bit of trouble in that section. Okay, it's a rest part of this map. But both are pretty equal. Rustyy is hitting them a little bit early, but this OD4 is saving a bit of accuracy for him. And as I say that, Rustyy with a big miss. That is a hard choke for one of the sections. Maybe he decided to alternate and didn't trust his... Yeah, he's starting to alternate and is messing up his fingers. That is rough. That's a bit of indecision on this part. So, Orcturus will get this solid lead. Yeah, this is a rough part for Rustyy. I think that he's trying to adjust to a both hand alternate, conserving stamina maybe, but in the end that does boggle his mind a bit and mixes up the colors. That is unfortunate. He's missing on some easy patterns. Orcturus is still keeping this strong, I see. Even 100. That shall be the slow part. And this should be the last key of the section, and Orcturus has no sign of dropping this FC. And that should be the first breakpoint in Orcturus' time. An unfortunate misset for Rustyy, choking on the mid part of the map. Orcturus will be taking this breakpoint. Thank you very much, and it will be his pick. And hopefully he has the chance to extend his lead, or will Rustyy take back another breakpoint on his side? Yeah, that's what I expected. But it will be Orcturus' pick, and he has the advantage here. I might expect a strong pick for Orcturus for him to extend his lead. And my guess will be BT1 or BT2. Come on, Gamba. Oh, he goes for HD1. A rather unconventional pick, as it is pretty difficult in terms of the map itself. But Arcturus is gambling a bit for the HD. A bit of a sport, who knows? But Rusty here might have some trouble, or maybe a comfortable pick as well. So I believe that Rusty is just warming up just a little bit. So if he plays this map well, we might see a few more points onto his side. And Rusty is adjusting very well to the slow beats. A bit of 100s there, unfortunate. It was a little too late. But Arcturus did have the lead for a little bit, but Rusty will have a small advantage. But as long as he keeps dropping his accuracy, the lead will just go back to Arcturus, even if he has a single miss. And Rusty, unfortunate miss there. I think a misread. And for now, he's hitting a lot of the notes very early. Orcturus has finally gotten more stable accuracy. As if we're getting to the first half of the map. Rusty still trying to struggle until these different patterns. This is the trouble of HD, especially if you're starting out, is that normally when it comes to patterns that you're not used to, you tend to look at the score bar, the one near the circle in the end, so that you can double and confirm what pattern you're hitting. But the problem is with hidden, that that score bar completely disappears, and the moment you try to look for it, your field of vision gets completely blocked, and you'll start to forget more of what the pattern is afterwards. So you need a lot of discipline and not looking to the score bar. And Rusty here, absolutely getting so much struggles. But he will get this pass. But a very, very tough map for him. And Arcturus takes the second point with confidence and dominance. With only one miss and 16 100s. Not a bad score for HD1. Yeah, good reverse choke for Arcturus. But Rusty's pick. He has to get this point back or Arcturus might get more and more advantages here. And he goes for free mod 2. We might. Oh, is that free mod 3? And it is. The I9 map. I believe on the past maps, Orcturus did go for no mod on those. We might see another no mod depending on how well he plays. But Rusty, I don't know what mod is he gonna use. Because both mods are pretty difficult on this if you don't have the proper practice. speed ups are pretty demonic. And he goes for hidden, while Orcturus goes for hard rock. I may be wrong. Rustyy here, going for no fail. Orcturus early miss. And Rustyy getting and hitting those slow patterns very well. Keeping an SS on the what seems to be the hardest part for HD for some reason. A lot of players with HD have so much trouble on the early ones with breaks. And yep, he's keeping a good SS and the speed ups now. So for hidden, these tend to be just a reaction challenge. Orcturus is playing catch up for the accuracy. P100s for Rustyy, but with that lead, he still has just a tiny bit more due to that P100s and one miss. His lead will shrink into what seems to be just around one, and the lead will break, going back to Orcturus' side as he's getting a bit more and more comfortable with the faster part of the map. Rustyy having some trouble with 100s. There we go. PI section. The accuracy difference is getting larger and larger as the lead moves into Orcturus' side. A far more consistent end to the map, while Rustyy has a lot of trouble with these PI sections. But Orcturus with an unfortunate miss. There's still a lot of maps here, and if he struggles to keep his accuracy back, Rustyy might take that. But Orcturus is showing no signs of dropping his accuracy again. And Rustyy, unfortunate choke there, having absolute trouble in that PI section. So I did say before, with hidden, it doesn't actually make the fast parts easier. It brings it more to a reaction challenge. And if you're not exactly used to that kind of reaction speeds, you might spell a bit of trouble, and it's giving Rustyy a lot of trouble. And if he doesn't actually manage to adjust to this 1-3 section, he might actually fail the map. But Orcturus keeping a good 400,000 point lead. Apart from another reverse choke, he will get this point again. Rustyy got completely spooked in that last section. Only a 5x miss. Good score for Orcturus as well. Yeah, for score V2, a no fail does not affect the score. We only asked to put no fail because of the risk that some players might actually fail some maps, especially with mod sections, and the uh, the score does not show in the match pool if you fail it. But Orcturus makes a big break point for Rustyy again, and gets his chances for another 5-0 sweep. And he chooses free mod 1. Good map. Very consistent. Though the length is pretty long, 3 minutes and 34 seconds. But depending on how Rustyy goes, he might go for no mod here. Or another HD versus an HR for Orcturus. So the matches will start, and we'll see the mods, and it's gonna be, yep, no mod for Rustyy versus Orcturus. So there might be a chance that Orcturus might not clutch out this map, and if Rustyy keeps his consistency, there might be a good choice for Nomad. But Orcturus will have this mod lead, while Rustyy having a bit of trouble. So it's perfectly fine to go for no mod on free mod maps, but the pressure of playing perfectly will exist as the leeway for error is very small. And Orcturus has some leeway for error as well, but it's this guarantee that if he just plays well, he'll still win. We get into the finishers, and somehow Rustyy misses the finisher. And another one, maybe spamming it. That is unfortunate. Those big misses might spell the point for him. Orcturus is keeping a good 99 accuracy throughout the PI. Oh, an unfortunate miss on Orcturus. And a little bit more for extra hits, but once again, since Rustyy did make some mistakes early on, this lead gave Orcturus this kind of leeway to make mistakes. So he will still be hitting with a pretty sizable lead, but any more misses is much appreciated for Rustyy for that comeback. But this also demands Rustyy to get back into the game here. He has to hit the consistent parts at least more for any chance of getting this point back. Orcturus, another unfortunate miss, only brings the lead shorter and shorter, but Rustyy at the same time creating his own. Rustyy, oh, very bad trouble. Struggling in these constant sections. Misreading a cat as a Don? Oh, that's a Taiko movement. But Orcturus is sitting comfortably on a 96 in the slow part of the section. And he misses. Both players having a bit of trouble on the map for their own reasons in particular. But we will get into the 1-3 section. And the final Ki, this tends to be the hardest part of the map. So let's see if both can keep their combos. And Orcturus seems to be holding this lead with a bit of pride and dominance. Yep, another point to Orcturus' side. 4-0. Both players having a bit of trouble. Orcturus will run it out in the scores. Tough game for Rustyy here. Alright, but it will be match point, and I'm not sure who's gonna pick. Well, unfortunately, Rustyy was like lagging apparently, but it will be Rustyy's pick, so he will have a bit of advantage for this comeback. He goes for no mod 1. Wait, I'm back. Sorry about that. But he goes for no mod 1. A very interesting pick. Because Orcturus is pretty consistent on Nomad 1. So depending on how well he plays, we might see some good from Orcturus and Rustyy. But one thing's for sure, Rustyy will need to perform a little bit better than his last games for any chance of a comeback, as Orcturus is proving himself to be a very strong opponent. Oh, I remember. Didn't Orcturus say before was he played on like BKKG? Yeah, that is an interesting style. Well, it doesn't really change much, I guess. Maybe it's like potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Yeah, like for the both of the players and potentially the last pick for Rustyy. And we'll see. So Rustyy tends to have a bit of errors mid match, but always on the start he seems to always have this advantage. While Orcturus on the other hand does the opposite. He gets a bit more comfortable at the end. But early parts is where the mistakes tend to show, and once again, the early 100s moving on to Rustyy's side. So if Rustyy can keep up a good performance here, he can win this. That chance is there, but the demand of a perfect play does loom as well. And unfortunately, an early miss brings back Orcturus. But Orcturus trading his own, rather struggling sections in this map. But Rustyy does get a few more 100s and then he goes back to Orcturus. Both missing on the early Ki section at the same time. I think both, that's the same amount of misses as well. So no changes there, but another miss on Orcturus' side will drop Rustyy. Will drop the lead to Rustyy just a little bit. But nothing changes as much. Though the lead is going back and forth. If Rustyy manages to get comfortable or get a more stable accuracy, he has a big chance of winning this. But at the same time, Orcturus is slowly but surely getting more comfortable. The UR is getting a bit more stable, so there might not be more chances for Rustyy. But never mind, as I say that, Orcturus does miss a bit more. So it only needs Rustyy to play more consistent here. Both around 93 and 92, and even more misses would bring any kind of lead to Rustyy's side. Yeah, oh no, poor sections there. And Rustyy's finally gotten the lead. A rare sight in a few match. Like, he just has to hold this. It's only half the maps and both players are having a bit of trouble in NM1. And a few more errors on Orcturus' side. And oh no, Rustyy with more and more 100, more and more misses there. But Orcturus has played some back as well. This match can go either way. But both with accuracy, Orcturus does a bit of accuracy lead. But Rustyy here, dropping is actually more and more. This lead that he has is just growing thinner and thinner. And that's not the worst part. That's the harder part of the map here is gonna happen anytime soon. And here it is. And the lead with a miss from Rustyy goes back to Orcturus. Oh no, Orcturus with a few more misses. The match is getting pretty close. If Orcturus keeps on missing, Rustyy can take this. But all we need is Rustyy to be a bit more consistent. And he's currently showing that in the last parts of the map. If he can clutch this out, he can have a comeback. And a few more misses from Orcturus here. should be the easier part of the map, and the lead has significantly gone to Rusty's side. He's finally gotten very consistent on the last PI. A remarkable miss, but that doesn't mean much in terms of his lead. Orcturus. It's unfortunate, but Rustyy does manage the what he is needed to win this, and he will clutch this match out with 93 accuracy. But missing at the last slow parts of the map. Oh my god, this match is so good. Alright, Rustyy takes it. Rustyy takes a point back from Orcturus, both with pretty interesting numbers. 49 and 30 and 39 and 46. There was a chance that Orcturus might have actually gotten that lead back if he didn't miss on those parts as well. But commendable for Rustyy. Keeping that lead on the final Ki was literally the reason on how he won that. But it is too late from celebration, as it will be Orcturus' match point and his pick. So he has to go through this big hurdle that is Orcturus' pick, which can be literally anything. PT, HD, FM. Actually, never mind, no HD. HR, FM. But this is a big chance for Rustyy. His life will stay for a while. Timer will be running. I hear some keybinds running in the background. FF2, he goes for arrogation. And once again, we will probably see an HR no mod play. Rustyy had a bit of trouble on NM1, but we will see. I think he's much more favored going with this no mod pick. So, yeah, even though that, yeah, but HR and DP aren't picked yet, even though Orcturus is pretty proficient in DP. Well, unfortunately, Rustyy will go for a side trade back on this. But matches will start. This is another potential last pick. Besides, do I see an easy? Do I see an easy from Orcturus? Is that an easy I see? Okay, what is this match? My eyes aren't deceiving me, right? Apparently easy is not allowed in the tournament. Welcome here in the chat. Apparently, Orcturus had a strong 4-0 lead, but Rustyy did take a break point. Actually take his point back, and it's Orcturus' pick for arrogation, and then Spain pighati depression sa just Mumbai. But apparently Orcturus just chooses easy on arrogation. dropping the Rockley weights on him. Yeah, for free mod, only HR, HD, and HDHR plus no mod can only be played. Well, easy is not played because of the fact that easy will reduce your score into about 60%. And 60% is pretty big, considering the advantage that mods give is only 0.6. So it's exactly half? I thought that was half time. Alright, still, it's a big number. Literally, if you SS it, it's only 500,000. And that's less than 95%. Well, that might be a throw pick for Orcturus, but if that's the case, we might actually on HDHR. But we're waiting for the players. And the match will start, and we might see an HDHR. Nope, an HD pick for Orcturus, while Rustyy keeps on that no mod. Ooh, more people in the chat. Might see a potential comeback. But Rustyy has to play this well. So Orcturus will have this mod advantage, while Rustyy here dropping a few 100s on his side. Not wanted, but the way Orcturus is dropping his accuracy will give Rustyy a bit of advantage. But Rustyy will get more 100s on his side. There's a bit of a accuracy battle in both the players. And Rustyy misses a finisher, thinking it was red. Hits the cat and hits the ball instead. And huge accuracy drop for Rustyy. It's not looking good as we're getting to the half part of the map, because this map is only 1 minute and 41. So any kind of accuracy drop here will be more significant than what it usually is. And Orcturus finally getting more and more comfortable on other from Rusty's. Accepted for Orcturus, but he will be sitting comfortable with his 200,000 point lead. Doesn't show any sign of missing. Finally, it's going to a more stable 98 as we reach the final part of the map, and Rustyy missing once more. And Orcturus just edging out that 1 million score will knock Rustyy out of the tournament in a 5-1 fashion as Orcturus heads forward to the losers bracket. And that's GG's from Rustyy. Good plays from both of the players. And that really, really interesting NM1 match for both. But Orcturus will head into the quarterfinals on the losers bracket. Rustyy is out. That is GG's. And congratulations for Orcturus for winning this match. Following the schedules again for those in the stream. Check out the schedules. There will be another match at around 6 p.m. and it's gonna be Vero versus Kitsune. So keep your keep your times in check as the stream will come back pretty soon. But that will be all for the Rustyy versus Orcturus match. And for those in the stream, thanks for watching. We'll be back pretty soon.
But end up in the air, but end up in the air, end up in the air, but end up in the air, end up in the air, but end up in the air, end up in the air, but end up in the air, end up in the air, but end up in the air.